Hi, Adam Warfield here, and I am bringing you my summary of Sprint 4 for Pokécheck. For those of you who are wondering, Pokécheck is a hack checker that I am developing for the competitive Pokemon community. So let's just jump into my goals here for this sprint. First, I wanted to add joins to the database. Then I wanted to make the menus interact with the database. There was a PDF button that was giving me some problems with the last sprint that I wanted to fix. And then I wanted to start with the rules for the individual Pokemon as I already made the global rules. So the joins to the database, that was a little tedious, not really difficult, just time consuming to make sure everything lined up correctly. And then the interactivity with the menus really depended on those joins. So basically I have the tables made for the joins. One of them is entirely complete for this point of the project. The other one still is about a quarter complete, but it's enough for me to show the functionality. There's a lot more stuff I have to plug in there. Basically, the only barrier is it just kind of takes a while to manually plug it in. I'm looking into writing some kind of script to do it and speed up the process, but for now, I have a quarter of the entries in that one. So all the menus work with the database. However, some Pokemon, you cannot select everything yet. We'll get into that with the user-facing demo later. I was able to fix the PDF button pretty easily, and I actually completed the rules for one Pokemon, so you can completely check one Pokemon, and it is totally done, which was a big step for the project. But we will just hop over to my user-facing demo, and I'll show you what I accomplished. Alright, so this was probably the most I've accomplished in any sprint to date. So the biggest changes come from the ability select and move select right away. So all the Pokemon that are currently available, all four, have both abilities available to them, available to be selected. As you can see, the only Pokemon that has moves available right now is Tapu Koko. That's because, like I said earlier, it takes a while to just plug everything into the join, but you can manually select it, and you can search by typing in letters to get through the list a little faster. I think there's like 60-some moves on there, so it's important that you're able to do that. And also, you can run the full check on Tapu Koko. I will make one here that just fails everything. The moves actually do not matter in this instance. So I will fail everything possible in this hack check just to show it off. Yep. Okay. So it's a little messy with the results right now. I'll be doing some formatting next sprint to make that come in nicely, probably line by line. But it's an explanation of every reason why this Pokemon is not legal. So it cannot be cut in a Master Ball and from the daycare helpers. That is a global rule. And then all the other ones are specific to Tapu Koko. It cannot be below level 50. It's listed at level 1. Telepathy, the ability, has not been released. Shiny Tapu Koko must be timid and in a Cherish Ball. It is adamant and in a Master Ball. And it cannot come from the daycare helpers. So that is pretty much that's pretty much it for this view here. It was actually a really big step to be able to get a complete hack check for one Pokemon. Let me make it legal real quick to demo that. So we will make it timid like it wants. Switch that back to Electric Surge. It's got to be over level 60. Let's put in a Cherish Ball and leave it shiny. And run the check again, and it passes. All right, so we'll hop over to our other view here. And this is the button that was giving me trouble. As you can see, it now works. Opens up the rules so that if someone would want to go over them and manually check something or look up the rules to get some information, it's right at a click of their finger there. I'll just close that out. But yeah, this view is almost completely done. I just have to add the instructions into this panel when everything else is finished, but that should be pretty easy. Next sprint, I'll be working on giving the others access to their moves. But yeah, we are getting pretty close. And then after they all have access, I can start adding in more Pokemon and doing just slowly working to gain this complete. All right, so now we are going to hop over to my code walkthrough to show you how all this works. All right, so I'll get started here by just showing my joins. This one is utilized by the ability select J combo box. So we have Pokedex number as a foreign key referencing the Pokedex number in the Pokedex table, and then the ability number is a foreign key that references ability number in the abilities table, and then this ID is just like a little counter type of deal here where it just gives all of them a primary key because every table needs one. So then here's the one for the move select. This one serves all four of those combo boxes. It's the same type of deal, Pokedex number, foreign key, referencing Pokedex number in the Pokemon table again, and then move ID references the move ID in the moves table. And then just the counter for the primary key once again. All right, so let's hop over to our model and look at some of the code. So this is there's a lot of code that went in here this week, but a lot of it was pretty similar. So once I really got the hang of it, it was pretty much almost copying it and then just adding it to suit what I was trying to do. So here is how we get the Pokedex number. This is the key to starting any of the SQL queries to modify those menus on the GUI. So you see, you start by passing in the name of the Pokemon, and then you search using that name to get the Pokedex number, and you return it back. And then, so that's utilized, I believe, in almost every one of these. See, like right here, we are getting the Pokedex number first, and then we use it to get the ability numbers. It's the same type of deal, so I won't bother hopping back up and showing that, but you just search in that join that I showed earlier with the Pokedex number, which gives you the ability numbers, and then you go and use those ability numbers to get the abilities names, and you put these in the combo box model. And then that combo box model then gets passed to the controller and then back to the view and gets set. It's the same deal for the moves. There is one difference in the moves. Let me see if I can find that. So here's get move model, which there's a smaller method here that I want to show. Get moves, move names. Yes, that's the one. So let's move up here until we find that. Get move names. So since there were a lot of moves, I wanted to make sure it was sorted alphabetically, just to ensure that everything was as easy as possible to find. So what I had to do was, before I put it in the combo box model, I had to put it in an array list. So I just called that sorting list. And then after the array list was fully populated, I just did sorting list.sort string compared to ignore case. It's a really, really helpful tool there that just automatically puts it in order. It saved a lot of time to do it that way. And then we just loop through and add them to that model there. All right, so one last thing to share here. I will just go over these cases. So I'm using a case switch here to go through the Pokemon so that way you don't run through a whole bunch of if statements that are irrelevant to the scenario. So I have cases for all four. I didn't put anything in for the other three yet since the move options aren't fully in there for them yet. I haven't checked. I'm not sure if the moves are relevant for them. They actually were not for Tapu Koko, so I may be able to do them now. But let's just take a look at what Koko has. So if the level is less than 60, it gets marked as false. And then if the ability equals telepathy, it gets marked as false. And we're just adding all of these statements to the strings for explanations. This is all pretty simple. This was definitely the easy part of this week. And then, yeah, it's just the same deal all the way down. Here, if it's not equal to Cherish Ball, it's marked as false, or it's not equal to Timid. And that's, of course, if shiny is true. And then anytime it's from the daycare, it gets marked as false. Once we break, if it did not pass, we return the string that we've been making, because up here, the string starts out as failed to just start out the message with a clear statement that says whether it passed or failed. And then if it passed is true still, we just return passed as our string. So that way we don't have to worry about saying that string to say passed instead. So that's about it for this sprint. It was definitely very, very productive. I'm very, very happy with what I finished, and I'm excited to continue on and really try to polish this up in the last two sprints. All right, thank you for watching.